Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm Zelp and today we are going to talk about where I believe to be the fastest place to level up your Temtem. What I'm going to show you is quite end game. You might not have this unlocked if you're still playing through the story. Most of the people that have finished the campaign up to the point where it's released, you might have this unlocked already. So it's actually the same place where I've showcased the crystal shrine. Now I realized that on my last video I didn't do a good job showing you guys where exactly that crystal shrine is. So over here I'm going to show you. This is the place, the mist. If you don't know where this is, you most likely haven't played to this part yet, and I don't want to ruin the story for you, but you should know where this whole pink misty thing is. So all you have to do is just move to your right, and then you come over here and you start seeing that there are cliffs. Now in order to pass this cliffs, you actually need some kind of like a grappler hook. I think they call it a hook rope, and this is going to be given to you pretty far in the campaign as well. So again, this is kind of an end game method. So let me just get all the way over here. Basically you need the hook, and also you need to be able to reach this part. But to be honest, if you have the hook, you'll probably be able to do this. I also explained in the last video that you need to have a whole list of crystal type Temtem in order to defeat these people, and then once you defeat him you can have access to the crystal shrine. Okay, so now the thing is, Temtem's over here in this location has really high level. In fact, it's more than level 50. It can go up to I think 54, 55 maybe. So over here we have a Xenoref. Now it's actually really easy to fight them despite seeing that he's a level 51. The reason is that he will do two things in the start. He's going to slap himself to buff himself, and he's going to do that twice. So you have 2 whole rounds to kill it. And when he slaps himself, he actually does 25% damage to himself. So in a way, you only need to do, or only need to take up half of his health in total. Okay, so let's just showcase this really quickly. Okay, so that is, I don't know, like 30% ish. Now he slaps himself, right? He gets these buffs. All right, and then that does another 25%, and then I have the water, which does a little bit more. Now at this point basically I can just like wait and he will die because he's gonna slap himself again, and that is gonna kill him. The problem is you want to make sure that you do at least 50% of the damage to him, because if he slaps himself the second time, on the third round there's a really high chance that you might die in one hit, because it did like 2 buffs that increases his SP attack. And if he were to use, like, let's say crystal spike, so it's very likely to attack first, and when that happens you might, you know, die from that. You do want to make sure that whatever Temtem that you bring in for this leveling method, that you want to be able to take out 50% of his health per round. Okay, so in this case you can see that the first Xenoref that we attack is guaranteed to die in the next round when he slaps himself again. So all we have to do is now just focus on the second one, and he's gonna die in the second round as well. I'm gonna use ice, and he's gonna die in the second round as well, as long as I can do at least 50% damage. There you go. In fact, actually I think they're both gonna die in this round. So this one slapped himself to death, and the other one dies as well. Okay, so one of the problems with dealing with the Xenoref is that they have a trait called Wrecked Farewell. They don't all have that trait, so sometimes if they don't have it, it's not going to be a problem. But if they do, what's going to happen is that when they die due to overexertion, which means like they slap themselves and they die, they will do a 25% max health damage to all the Temtems around. So For Nesla, she can somehow heal over time, but for another Temtem that doesn't have heal, for example, is going to suffer from this a lot more. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that they don't die due to overexertion. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you is something that I do and what I can use, and this is very subjective to what kind of Temtem you're running and what kind of abilities they have and how much is their damage. So the objective is really just not to let them hurt themselves and kill themselves with madness, what's it called, madness buff. And you also want to kill them before their third turn, because their third turn is where they use their ability and it's gonna hurt you a lot. So what I've come up to do is I'll use Ember to try and kill one, and then I'll weaken the other one with, let's say, water attack from my Nesla. Okay, that is a very good attack. And this is actually cutting really close. Like sometimes I do fail the method, but more often than not it actually works, and it saved me from getting damaged by Wrecked Farewell. So I'm just trying to walk you through what I'm doing, so hopefully you can do something similar if you're running a different types of Temtem. Okay, now what's gonna happen is that my Ember has slightly higher priority because maybe that particular Temtem has higher speed than Xenaref. So I'll be able to kill the weaker Xenaref with this Ember over here. So what I'm going to do with the next one is I'm going to actually stall him so that my Capri can kill the first one with his Ember, because they are both actually crystal type and they are weak against fire. So I'm actually using Strangle to stall so now he slapped himself again. But what happens here is that on the third round he cannot attack, so we still save ourselves from a lot of damage. And then on this third attack I can use something strong or something even stronger, you know, it really depends on what you want to go with. But I believe, judging from the amount of health he has, an Ember is going to be good enough. And yeah, now since Nesla used Strangled, he is pretty much out of commission as well, so there's really nothing he can do. Let's just put him to rest, and there you go. So they both died without being able to trigger Wrecked Farewell, and that is one of the ways they can go through without taking any damage. And technically I didn't use any heal to heal my Nesla, so you can actually run a different Temtem as well. So over here we have one Xenoref, and I want to show you guys the experience that you'll be getting from one, and then you can kind of like multiply that by 2 to figure out how much you'll get, you know, if you fight 2 at a time. So let's kill this one real quick. Hopefully we don't get hurt from his trade. Yep, I'm pretty sure I can take it out with one more Ember. Yeah, especially with what just happened. Oh, let's use something easier on the staminas. Okay, so we have only 2 out there, and we each get 2.3k experience. So over here in this team, I have a Nesla that is maxed out at level 48. So by killing one of these, and I also have a cloak on one of my 2Ys. So you're gonna see that both my 2Y and my Capiri, they both get less EXP because they are EXP being siphoned by my Nesla, even though he is maxed out. So this place is really good. It can be really safe as well. Which is why I'm trying to introduce you guys to this place. I already have 4 Temtem maxed out using this method. So I want to give you guys my opinion on which Temtem I would recommend maxing out and why, and also explaining what kind of ways that I use to try and level up, or what I'm actually doing right now. Why is there so many 2Ys on my squad currently? And I'll try to explain those things maybe in the next video tomorrow. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Ah shit, I forgot to wave. Here's the wave.